I'm Liam. Your average 8 grand a month corporate drone. I blacked out at the annual company gala. When I woke up, the world had flipped upside down. My coworkers stared at me like they were at my funeral. Ethan, my sworn enemy, brought me a coffee like he was waiting on me hand and foot. But the most insane part, Olivia Hale, the ice-cold CEO everyone swore had zero interest in men. Cheeks flushed, lip caught between her teeth. She slammed a contract down on my desk. Sign it. And last night never happened. I flipped it open. The marriage pact. I scrolled through my phone and found only one post. Sent at 3 a.m. It was a photo of me with my arms slung over her shoulder. Caption: The moon's beautiful tonight. To my wife, here's to forever. 263 likes. My mom's comment was pinned at the top. Yes, yes, yes. I'll book the venue. What the hell did I do last night? I woke up to a throbbing in my temples. My stomach churning. My throat thick with the bitter aftertaste of whiskey. I was face down on my desk. Keyboard pressing indentations into my cheek. My suit jacket was gone. And my tie was wrapped around my forehead like I was Rambo. I'm Liam, marketing coordinator at Argo Tech. 3 years in. 8 grand a month. For figures in savings. Your textbook corporate drone. Last night was the annual gala. I remembered the third glass of whiskey. Maybe. After that. Nothing. My memory went dark after that third drink like a VHS tape snapped clean in half. I lifted my head with effort and noticed the whole office was eerily quiet. Everyone was staring. Not normal staring. The kind of stare you give an ICU room from the hospital hallway. Pity. Mostly. With a hint of reverence. Like I was already 6 feet under. Claire, who sat to my right, had misty eyes and gave me a solemn little shake of her head. Her expression said, "Such a shame. So young." My stomach dropped. Something was wrong. Very wrong. That's when my best friend Mason came barreling out of the break room. 6'3", built like a brick house, wearing the face of a man at a wake. He walked up, grabbed my hand, and squeezed tight. "Dude, what's going on? You remember anything from last night?" "I remember a few drinks." "A few?" Mason huffed a breath. "Those few you remember. That was just round 1. My palms started sweating. "What happened after?" Mason opened his mouth. Then closed it again. "Brace yourself." Just then, someone walked past my desk. Ethan, head of marketing. My boss. And my number one enemy at this company. A year back. He'd stolen one of my proposals. Slapped his name on it. And paraded it around the quarterly review like it was his. When I'd called him out on it, he just clapped me on the shoulder and smiled. "Think bigger. Kid. Don't get so hung up on credit." I'd hated his guts ever since. But today was different. Ethan cocky. Arrogant Ethan paused when he passed me. He glanced over. No mockery. No condescension. Just admiration. Genuine. Almost reverent admiration. He even gave me a small nod. Then kept walking. My brain short-circuited. Ethan. Respecting me. I rubbed my eyes. Convinced I was still dreaming. Mason. I grabbed his arm. What the hell did I do last night? Mason was about to answer when my phone rang. Internal line. I knew the number. CEO's office. I picked up. It was Zoe. Olivia's personal assistant. She was always unflappable. Deadpan. Totally unshakable. But today, there was something in her voice I couldn't place. Something complicated. "Liam. Ms. Hale wants to see you. Now." "What about?" "You'll find out when you get here." She hung up. I looked at Mason. He clapped me on the shoulder. Harder than usual. "Brother." "Yeah. Godspeed." Olivia's office was on the 18th floor. The entire floor was just her office and Zoe's desk. In 3 years. I'd been up there fewer times than I could count on one hand. Always for work reports. Never more than 3 minutes. Because stick around any longer and you'd freeze solid. Everyone at the company knew 3 things about Olivia Hale. She was devastatingly beautiful. She was ice cold. And she wanted absolutely nothing to do with men. How beautiful. Last year's annual report had her photo on the cover. And clients kept calling asking if we were a modeling agency. How cold. A new sales director hit on her in the elevator once. By the next day, He'd been transferred to our Alaska branch. And as for the men thing, word was her mom had set her up on over 30 blind dates. None had lasted more than 15 minutes. The shortest one. She'd left before the tea had even cooled. And this woman wanted to see me alone. The day after I'd blacked out drunk. My legs felt wobbly as I pushed open the door. Olivia sat behind her desk. Sunlight streamed through the window behind her, gilding her flawless face and making her look cold. Almost unreal. But I caught one small detail. The tips of her ears were red. Not from the light. Actually red. Sit, she said. Voice flat. I sat. She picked up a document from her desk. Didn't look at me. And slid it across. Sign it. Last night. Wiped clean. I reached out and took it. Flipped it open. Top of the first page. 3 words. The marriage pact. My world tilted. My mind went blank. My fingers kept flipping on their own. Party A husband, Liam. Party B wife, Olivia Hale. The 2 parties hereby voluntarily enter into the following marriage agreement. I snapped my head up to look at her. She still wouldn't meet my eye. But her ears were brighter red than before. Ms. Hale. My voice was shaking. What is this? You don't remember. You have no memory of what you did last night. She finally looked up. There was so much in those eyes: annoyance. Embarrassment. Something else I couldn't read. Go back to your desk. She looked away again. I'll give you one day to figure it out for yourself. Bring the signed agreement to Zoe by the end of the day tomorrow. I walked out of her office clutching the marriage pact. Legs like jelly. First thing I did when I got back to my desk was yank out my phone. Pulled up my social media. The top post on my profile stared right back at me. A selfie. I was grinning like an idiot. Right arm slung over Olivia's shoulders. She wasn't smiling. But she wasn't pulling away either. Caption: The moon's beautiful tonight. To my wife, thank you for having me for the rest of our lives. 263 likes. My dad's comment: yes. My mom's: I'll book the venue. When are you bringing her home? My aunt's: where's Olivia from? How big is her family? Does she own a home? I locked my phone and buried my face in my hands. I was screwed. Totally. Completely screwed. I sprinted to the break room and cornered Mason by the water cooler. Talk. Talk about what? Tell me everything that happened last night. Every single word. Mason leaned against the wall. Arms crossed. Looking pained. You sure you want to know? Positive. All of it. All. Of. It. Sit down first. No. Just tell me. You're gonna want to sit. He looked me dead in the eye. Trust me. This is gonna make you physically ill. I pulled out a chair and sat. Mason cleared his throat and started. 8:30 last night. Gala starts. You're fine. 3 whiskeys in. Buzzed. But totally functional. Yeah. I remember that much. Then came the 4th drink. And that's when you went off the rails. Off the rails how? Your eyes changed. Like you decided you had nothing left to lose. 5th drink. Ethan gets up on stage with his glass to give a speech. My jaw tightened. He's going on about Project Azure. His award-winning initiative, talking about how it was his blood, sweat, and tears. How he led the team day and night to pull it off. That was my project? My fists clenched. Yeah. Everyone knows it was yours. But nobody dared say anything. Then what? Then you stood up. Mason's expression went weird. Well, stood up is putting it mild. You shot up out of your chair like you'd been electrocuted. Knocked the chair right over. The whole ballroom went dead silent. My heart started racing. You grabbed your glass. Walked right up to him. Everyone thought you were gonna toast him. Then you said one line. What did I say? Mason did an impression of Medrunk. Cocky. Sharp around the edges. Equal parts messy and unhinged. You said, great work on the proposal. Ethan. Real impressive. Especially that little line in the bottom right corner, Liam. Draft V3. You gonna explain that? I froze. The whole room froze. Then half the people there started pulling out their phones. Had uploaded the original files to the shared drive. Timestamps. File names. Everything matched. Ethan went bright green. Then you said another thing. What? You held up your glass and said, since you love taking other people's stuff so much here, You can have this one too. Then you poured the whole drink right over his head. Dead silence. My brain needed a minute to process that. I poured a drink on Ethan. Yep. In front of the whole company. Including Ms. Hale. She was there. She was at the head table. Maybe 10 feet away from you. What did she do? Mason scratched his head. That's the weirdest part. Everyone thought she'd blow a gasket. Causing a scene at the gala is grounds for firing. Easy. But she didn't. Didn't say a word. Just picked up her tea and took a sip. Then what? Then someone got a photo of her face. It's been blowing up the work chat. What expression? Mason pulled out his phone and showed me a screenshot. It was blurry. But you could make out Olivia's profile. And the corner of her mouth. Curved upward. Barely. Like 2 millimeters. Olivia Hale had smiled. First time anyone at the company had caught it in 3 years. The comments were insane. No way. She smiles. Who even is this guy? A legend is born. I put the phone down and took a deep breath. Good news. I'd gotten my revenge for a year of stolen credit. Bad news. I'd done it in front of every single person at the company. Then what? I asked. Mason's grin dropped. Then things really went off the rails. What do you mean? After you doused Ethan? I guess you felt unstoppable. So you did something even crazier. What? You got up on stage. Grabbed the mic. And gave an impromptu speech. My hands started shaking. What speech? Mason silently pulled up the company group chat and pushed a video toward me. Title, Liam the Gala That Never Ends. Views, 47. 832. We have 213 employees total. My finger trembled as I hit play. The footage was shaky. Whoever filmed it was definitely drunk. But the guy in the middle was crystal clear. Me. Tie wrapped around my forehead. Top 2 buttons of my shirt undone. Mic clutched in my hand. Dead center of the stage. The room was dead quiet. Then I spoke. Coworkers, camaradello sufferers. A few people laughed. I've been at Argo 3 years. 3 years of clocking in at 8 a.m. Clocking out at 10 p.m. Weekend overtime with 0 extra pay. And a year-end bonus thinner than my credit card bill. The laughter got louder. Every morning I walk into this building and think I am a battery in a broken remote. The remote's dead. But you guys just keep pressing the buttons. People were slamming the table laughing now. Our mission statement says people first. I look at my pay stub every month and think what people. Last week HR took away the break room coffee machine. Cost cutting and efficiency, they said. I'm over here drinking tap water. Where's the efficiency in that? Someone yelled from the crowd. Preach. I kept going. But I spun around on stage. Held the mic high. I still love this company. Why? Because it taught me one very important lesson. The room went silent. Even wage slaves have dignity. The whole place erupted. The video shook violently. After that, the filmer was laughing too hard to hold the phone. I closed the video. My face was so hot I could have fried an egg on it. 47. 832 views. 213 people. That meant everyone had watched it an average of 224 times. I scrolled the comments. Liam is the GOAT. Said what we've all been thinking for 3 years. Voice of every drone in this building. So is Liam still alive? Asking for a friend. That last one had the most likes. It was from Zoe. I backed out of the group chat and pulled up my social media again. The wife post had a dozen new comments. My other aunt, handsome boy. What a cute couple. My cousin, dude, no way. My old classmate Jake, dude, you are so wasted. That's photoshopped, right? And a DM from my mom. Son. Your dad had 2 extra drinks tonight, he's so happy. Where does this girl work? Where's she from? What's her sign? Send me her birthday, I'll get your fortunes read. I wanted to delete the post. But 263 likes. Plus all the comments from my parents. Aunts. Uncles. Cousins. Delete it. And it's like we broke up. Leave it up. And we're engaged. I was stuck. I flipped my phone face down on the desk and rubbed my temples. Mason. Yeah. What happened after the speech? After that, Mason suddenly looked sheepish. Can you just spit it out? I don't think you're ready. I'm way past ready. Talk. Fine. Mason leaned in. Voice dropping. After the speech. Around 10:30. Ms. Hale left the ballroom. She was walking down the back steps. Rained a little last night. The ground was slippery. Did she twist her ankle? Mason looked at me and nodded slowly. You were sitting by the back door smoking. Don't tell me. You ran and caught her. Then what? Then you picked her up. Bridal carry. The air went still for 3 full seconds. There's an outdoor smoking area by those steps. How many people were out there? Mason held up both hands. 15. 15 people watched me, $8 grand a month marketing drone, carry the ice-cold CEO like a bride. All 15 of them ran back inside within 30 seconds of you picking her up. And 2 minutes after you set her down. The whole company knew. I buried my face in my hands. My career. My social life. Everything all gone. Burned to ash by one night of drinking. Mason. Yeah. Tell me that's everything. Mason said nothing. I peeked through my fingers. The look on his face said it wasn't. What else is there? The stuff after that. He stepped back. I didn't see it myself. You gotta ask Zoe. Before I could track down Zoe. Ethan found me. Cornered me. Actually. Right by the hallway turn. I tensed up automatically. Poured a drink over his head in front of the whole company. Knowing Ethan. He'd tear me apart. But Ethan just stood there. Weirdly calm. He was holding an Americano. Held it out to me. Coffee. You look like you need it. What is this? I didn't take it. Ethan sighed. Look. Liam. I'm not a great guy. But I know when I've lost. He leaned against the wall. Voice low. After you called me out last night. Ms. Hale had the VP audit every project I've done in 3 years. Results came in this morning. 7 projects. 4 with stolen credit. I'm done. Termination notice is signed for next Monday. I opened my mouth. But nothing came out. This isn't your fault. I brought this on myself. Ethan stared up at the ceiling. You just did what nobody else had the guts to. He glanced at me again. One more thing. What? He leaned in. I was in the smoking area last night when you picked her up. I saw it clear as day when you lifted her. She put one arm around your neck. You know what that means. Right? I froze. Olivia Hale has been here 5 years. 5. No man has ever so much as touched her. Last time a director stood too close to her in the elevator. He was in Alaska by morning. But she let you carry her. And she put her arm around your neck. Ethan clapped me on the shoulder. Look. I hate your guts. But for this. Respect. He turned and walked away. Left me standing there in the hallway. Brain completely fried. Olivia put her arm around my neck. No. Wait, that wasn't the point. The point was, what else did I do after she twisted her ankle? Zoe. I had to talk to Zoe. I practically ran up to the 18th floor. Zoe was at her desk sorting files. When she saw me. Her expression flickered, something amused. Something knowing. Zoe. I know what you're here for. She pulled a notebook out of her desk. Small. Leather-bound. Pages filled with tight handwriting. What is that? Timeline of last night's events. She adjusted her glasses. Habit. I take minutes for everything. You wrote all this down. Minute by minute. Why? Zoe looked at me. Dead serious. Liability. Me. She flipped open the notebook and cleared her throat. 10:31. Ms. Hale slips on back steps. Caught by Liam. 10:32. Liam lifts Ms. Hale in bridal carry. 15 employees in smoking area witness. 10:33. All 15 employees run back to ballroom to spread the news. 10:34. Liam carries Ms. Hale to VIP lounge. Sets her on the couch. I was there for that part. Zoe said. I was getting Ms. Hale's shawl. Then what? You checked her ankle. Told me to get an ice pack. Then I left to get it. Was gone about 3 minutes. When I came back. She paused. You were talking to her. What did I say? Something softened in Zoe's eyes. You said. You know. You have a really nice smile. You should do it more often. My breath caught. She said. You're drunk, you said. Drunk people tell the truth. Sober me wouldn't even dare look at you for too long. Silence. The whole 18th floor went quiet. The VIP lounge door was cracked open. 4 or 5 people were walking by in the hallway. Zoe added. They all heard. Spread through the whole company that night. I leaned against the desk, feeling like my soul was floating out of my body. That's not even the worst part. Zoe turned the page. 11:00. Ms. Hale's phone slips out of her pocket onto the couch. Screen lights up. Caller ID. Mom. A cold dread settled in my stomach. She had her eyes closed. Resting. Didn't notice. You answered it for her. No. You answered it. And talked for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I talked to Olivia Hale's mom for 15 minutes. What did I say? My voice was shaking. Zoe flipped through her notebook. Tone flat no. Her mouth was twitching. She was trying not to laugh. I'll do my best. She cleared her throat. First thing Ms. Hale's mom said was, Olivia. You done with the gala yet? You said. Hi. Ma'am. Olivia's resting. This is Liam. Her boyfriend. My vision went dark for a second. Ms. Hale went quiet for 3 seconds. Then according to you afterward she about yelled through the phone. She said. Boyfriend. Olivia has a boyfriend. You said. Yeah. We've been together a while. She was just too shy to tell you, she said. How long? You said. Almost 2 years, almost 2 years. I'd spoken to her fewer than 20 times total. Almost 2 years. Then what? Then she started grilling you. Where you're from. How old you are. What you do for work. How big your family is. If you own a home. You said you're from here. 28. Work at Olivia's company. Live with your parents. Saving up for a place. Okay. That's not that bad. I let out a breath. Then she asked when you two were getting married. You said whenever Olivia wanted. Whenever she was ready. I buried my face in my hands. Then she asked how many kids you wanted. My fingers dug into the edge of the desk. You said. 2. A boy and a girl. Perfect. I shot to my feet. Zoe. Yeah. Was Ms. Hale awake for all this? She opened her eyes 3 minutes into the call. She heard all that. Every word. What did she do? Zoe closed the notebook and looked me straight in the eye for the first time. She didn't move. Didn't make a sound. Just laid there and listened to the whole thing. I saw her face. What? What did she look like? Her ears and her neck were bright red. But she didn't stop you. 15 minutes. Not a single word. Until you hung up. Turned to her. And said. Zoe paused. You said. Olivia. Your mom's nice. She wants us to come over for dinner next week. You called her Olivia. Not Ms. Hale. I collapsed back into the chair. So to recap. Here's what I did last night. 1. Called out my backstabbing boss in front of the whole company and poured a drink on his head. 2. Grabbed the mic and gave a rant that went viral internally. 3. Bridal carried the ice-cold CEO in front of 15 witnesses. 4. Hit her with a line cheesiest pickup artist wouldn't dare use. 5. Answered her mom's phone. Claimed I was her boyfriend. Said we'd been together 2 years. And promised marriage and 2 kids. 6. Posted a photo of us with my arm around her. Calling her my wife. And I remembered none of it. Zoe. Yeah. What's with the marriage pact thing? Anyway. Zoe closed her notebook and stood up. She has a gap at 3 p.m. today. Ask her yourself. But hey. Liam. She paused at the door. Glancing back. I've worked for her 4 years. Nobody touches her phone. Ever. But last night. You held it for 15 minutes. Talked on it. And she didn't stop you. What do you think that means? She closed the door. Left me alone with the marriage pact. And a whole lot of silence. 3 p.m. I pushed open the CEO's office door for the second time that day. This time. I came with a full rap sheet. All the pieces fit. I'd cataloged every single stupid thing I'd done. I was ready to be yelled at. Demoted. Fired. Maybe even thrown out the window. The only thing I wasn't ready for. Facing Olivia Hale. She was sitting behind her desk. A file spread out in front of her. Pen spinning in her fingers. She hadn't written a single word. When I walked in. The pen stilled. But she didn't look up. Sit. I sat. 5 seconds of silence. 10. 15. Ms. Hale. You know everything. Don't you? She cut me off. Most of it. Yeah. So what do you think? I took a deep breath. I want to apologize first. Last night was all drunk nonsense. I caused you so much trouble. I didn't ask for an apology. She looked up. Her eyes were cold enough to freeze water. But the tips of her ears were red again. I asked if you're going to sign the agreement. Ms. Hale. It's a marriage pact. I know what it is. I wrote it. I blinked. You wrote it. Who did you think wrote it? I thought legal. Olivia gave me a look that said, "Are you actually this dumb?" She set down her pen and leaned back in her chair. Let me be honest with you. You answered my mom's call last night. Right in front of me. Called her ma'am. Called me Olivia. Said you were my boyfriend. Promised we'd get married by the end of the year. Have 2 kids in 3 years. After you hung up, I texted her. Said you were drunk. It didn't mean anything. She sent me 62 voice messages. Each a minute long. Bottom line. If you let this boy go. I'm flying out there tomorrow to line up more dates for you. My scalp tingled. My mom's already booking her flight. Olivia's voice was still cold. But I could hear the gritted teeth underneath. She sent me links to 14 5-star wedding venues around here. She's even looking into your astrological chart. How does she have my birthday? You told her. Last night. On the phone. Could I just die right now? So Olivia stood up. Walked around her desk. And stopped right in front of me. She was half a head shorter. But her presence was 3 times mine. Here's where we are. Your social media post 263 likes. Your whole family losing their minds. Your mom's already booking a banquet hall. On my end. 62 voice messages from my mom. Ready to fly out here at any second. 37 guys still on her dating list for me. And all 213 people at this company saw you carry me. Saw your speech. Saw your post. How do you propose we fix this? I opened my mouth. Then closed it again. She was right. There was no fixing this. Delete the post. My mom would think we broke up and call me crying all night. Deny it publicly. Everyone saw everything. It'd only make it worse. Pretend nothing happened. Olivia's mom was already booking a flight. We were trapped. So this agreement. It's a win-win. Olivia's voice slid back into her usual cool, professional tone. We pretend to date publicly. I have a family dinner next week. You come with me. Get my mom off my back. In 6 months. We break up amicably. Irreconcilable differences. Whole thing blows over. All the terms are in there. Rights. Obligations. No shared assets. No physical contact of any kind. Read through it. Sign if you're okay with it. Her tone. Her wording. Her pace, pure business negotiation. Flawless. Except for one crack. Ms. Hale. You listened to my entire conversation with your mom last night. Yes. 15 minutes. Yes. And you didn't stop me. I'd twisted my ankle. Twisting your ankle doesn't take away your voice. Olivia's face froze for a split second. You texted her afterward saying I was drunk and not to take it seriously, but you didn't stop me while I was on the phone. 15 minutes. You listened to your drunk employee call you Olivia. Call your mom ma'am, and you didn't say a word. Why? The office went dead quiet. Olivia stared at me for 3 seconds. Then looked away. You're overthinking this. It didn't feel fair to let you embarrass yourself alone. So you decided to embarrass yourself with me. It's called damage control. But when she wouldn't look at me. Her ears were bright red. Bright enough to bleed. I looked down at the marriage pact. The terms are fine. But I have a few additions. She turned back. One eyebrow raised. And what makes you think you get to add conditions? 3 conditions. 1. No more unpaid overtime. For the length of the agreement. I work normal hours. 2. Raise. At least 30%. Olivia's gaze cooled by half a degree. Are you negotiating with me? You're the one proposing marriage. I said. The air went still. What did you just say? No. I meant his agreement. You need my help here. So. 3rd condition. She cut me off. I see. I took a deep breath. 3. When you feel like smiling. Smile. Don't hold it in. Silence. You do have a really nice smile. Drunk me was right about that. Sober me thinks so too. Olivia stared at me for 5 full seconds. Then she grabbed her pen off the desk and threw it at me. Get out. What about conditions 1 and 2? Approved. N. I'll get out. I made it to the door. Hand on the handle. When I heard it. A tiny, quiet sound from behind me. A laugh. So short. Immediately stifled. But I heard it. At that point. I thought the worst was over. I was an idiot. News traveled faster at this company than I'd ever imagined. By day 3. There was a full-blown Liam legend circulating through Argo Tech. Version 1. Liam fought for his woman. Took down Ethan. Carried the CEO in his arms. And confessed his love like a boss. Version 2. Liam was a secret rich kid. Slumming it at the company for fun. And Ms. Hale knew all along. Version 3. Liam and Olivia were childhood sweethearts. Betrothed since birth. Just pretending not to know each other. Each version was more ridiculous than the last. And meth guy it was all about. I couldn't even explain myself. Because if I explained, I'd have to admit it was all drunk nonsense. Admit it. And it's social suicide. Don't admit it. And everyone assumes it's true. Either way. I was dead. Ethan's termination went official on Monday. By all rights. He should have hated my guts. But weirdly. On his way out. He stopped by my desk. Liam. Yeah. Respect. Then he left. Just like that. Clean. For half a second. I thought maybe he's not all bad. Just half a second. He stole a year's worth of my work. After all, half a second was more than enough. The real trouble hit 3 days after Ethan left. That afternoon. An anonymous post popped up on the company forum. Title: On the questionable meteoric promotion of marketing's Liam Carter. It was a nasty piece. Basically, Liam's just a regular coordinator. Why does he get the lead on the project team the second Ethan's gone? Is it because of his special relationship with Ms. Hale? And this Project Azure was his original work thing? Any actual proof? Or just some shared drive file he claims is his? The comments were already going off the rails. Fair point. That promotion came out of nowhere. Probably slept his way up. Ugh. Guess it's all about who you know around here. I finished reading. Cold in my gut. Anonymous. But I knew who it was. Ethan. He might have left the building. But he was still pulling strings. I was still figuring out how to handle it when my phone buzzed. A text from Olivia's personal number. Just one line. You see the post? I texted back. Yeah. She said. My office. Now. I headed up to the 18th floor and pushed open the door. Olivia was standing by the floor-to-ceiling windows. Back to me. What are you going to do about it? She didn't turn around. I'll pull the HR files. Get the original submission records for Project Azure. No need. She turned around. She was holding her tablet. I already handled it. She flipped the screen toward me. A company-wide email. From Olivia Hale. Sent 3 minutes ago. Title: Clarification on Marketing Department Personnel Changes and Related Matters. It read. 1. Following internal audit. The original concept and full proposal for Project Azure have been confirmed as the work of Marketing Coordinator Liam Carter. Original file creation dates. Edit histories. And submission logs are all on record and verifiable. 2. Former Marketing Director Ethan Moore has been found to have misappropriated credit on 7 separate project proposals during his tenure. All evidence has been forwarded to the legal department. 3. Liam's role adjustment is based solely on his professional performance and capabilities. It has no connection to any personal relationship. 4. Anonymous posting on the company forum is discontinued effective immediately. Any employee with concerns about personnel decisions may submit feedback through official channels. 5. My personal life is entirely separate from company operations. Anyone who takes issue with this may feel free to discuss it with their resignation letter in hand. I read the email 3 times. Especially that last line. Feel free to discuss it with your resignation letter. Classic Ollie. Via Hale kindness you got a problem. Leave. I put my phone away and looked at her. You didn't have to do all that for me. Don't flatter yourself. She cut me off. Plagiarism and defamation violate company policy. I'd handle it no matter who was involved. Oh. Stop smiling. I'm not smiling. Your eyes are smiling. Wah. NT me to close them while I talk to you. She picked up her water glass like she was gonna throw it. I took a smart step back. Oh. Right. She set the glass down. Back to her usual cool self. Family dinner this Saturday. Be ready. Ready for what? Just be normal. And don't drink. Got it. I made it to the door. Then paused. Ms. Hale. What now? Thank you. She said nothing. But as I closed the door, I caught it out of the corner of my eye. That tiny 2mm curve of her mouth. Back again. Saturday. I put on a light blue shirt I hoped was appropriate. Black slacks. And shined my dress shoes the night before. Olivia's car pulled up right on time out front. A black Mercedes S-Class. I climbed into the passenger seat. The car smelled like something soft. Light. Nice. Olivia was wearing an off-white dress. Her hair was down. Not the sharp, perfect high ponytail she wore to work. Loose. Honestly. I stared for a good 2 seconds. What are you looking at? She started the car. Nothing. Just never seen you in. Spit it out. You look nice. She didn't say anything. But her grip on the steering wheel tightened. Let me run down who'll be there. She said. Eyes on the road. Not many people. My mom. My dad. My aunt's family. And my cousin Scarlett. My dad doesn't talk much. Just say hi and you're fine. My aunt's a gossip. Asks everything. Just roll with it. What about your cousin? Just ignore her. Why? You'll see. Half an hour later. We pulled up to a standalone house. Big. Nice. I took one last deep breath. The door flew open. A middle-aged woman with perfect curled hair. An apron over her clothes. Grinning from ear to ear. Mrs. Hale. Liam. Come in. Come in. She grabbed my arm. So warm and enthusiastic I almost thought I had the wrong house. It's nice to meet you. Ma'am. Meet me. We talked for 15 minutes on the phone. No need to be formal. Come on. Put these slippers on. Olivia trailed behind us. Ice-cold expression firmly in place. But a vein twitching at her temple. A few people were already in the living room. Mr. Hale sat on the couch reading the paper. Glanced up at me. Nodded. And went back to reading. Got it. Quiet guy. Easy. Her aunt poked her head out of the kitchen. Looked me up and down. So this is Liam. Handsome. Way better than the guys on the dating list. Aunt Clara Olivia's voice held a warning. All right. All right. I'll stop. Sit down. Liam. Make yourself at home. I sat down. Then a girl with a ponytail came bounding down the stairs. Phone in hand. Is that him? Olivia closed her eyes for a second. Scarlett. Don't. Oh my gosh. The guy who carried you like a bride. Scarlett ran right up to me. Eyes sparkling. I watched that video like 20 times. What video? Mrs. Hale leaned in immediately. Olivia's composure finally cracked. There's no video. You're lying. The speech video from your work chat. And the bridal carry one. Scarlett. I'd never heard Olivia raise her voice that loud. Scarlett stuck her tongue out. But her eyes were still shining as she looked at me. She leaned in to whisper to Mel out enough the whole living room heard it. She changed outfits 3 times before we left. Olivia set her water glass down on the coffee table with a sharp thud. Dinner. Dinner went better than I expected. Mrs. Hale was an amazing cook. Braised ribs. Steamed fish. Garlic broccoli spread all across the table. She kept piling food onto my plate. Basically refilling it every time I took a bite. What do you do at the company? Liam. Marketing coordinator. How's the pay? Mom. Olivia's chopsticks stilled. What? I'm just asking. Getting to know him. It's fine. Pays the bills. I said. You own a home. Not yet. Saving for a down payment. Mrs. Hale nodded. No judgment in her face. That's fine. You kids take your time. Olivia makes good money. But she spends it too. Bought a bag last month. I nearly fainted when I saw the price tag. MOM. By the end of dinner, Olivia had said mom about 17 times. Each one a half octave higher than the last. After dinner, Scarlett dragged me out to the backyard on some excuse. Liam. Yeah. I need to tell you something. Her tone went suddenly serious. My sister has never brought anyone home. Ever. 28 years. Not a single person. I know this is probably some kind of arrangement. She made air quotes. But I know my sister. If she didn't want to do this, nobody could make her. Nobody. She changed 3 times today. Stood in front of the mirror for 10 minutes before we left. She's nervous. She never gets nervous. Scarlett looked at me. Suddenly fierce. So if you hurt her, I can't beat you up. But I will post every embarrassing thing about you online until you're ruined. Got it. She grinned then. And bounded back inside. I stood in the yard for a minute, looking up at the night sky. Then I glanced back at the living room window. Olivia was standing there, holding a cup of tea. She looked like she was staring outside, right where I was standing. Our eyes met through the glass. She immediately looked down, turned, and walked away. But I saw it. Her ears, red again. The drive back was quiet. Olivia drove, eyes straight ahead. Not a word. I didn't say anything either. Just the GPS and the low hum of the engine. We stopped at a red light. I stared out at the city lights. And for some stupid reason, I spoke. Ms. Hale. The agreement says 6 months. I know. I wrote it. What happens after 6 months? We break up amicably. Irreconcilable differences. She repeated the terms flatly. Business as usual. That's not what I mean. I turned to look at her. Streetlights painted her profile in streaks of gold and shadow. What if I don't want to break up after 6 months? Her grip on the wheel tightened. The light turned green. She didn't move. A car behind us honked. She jolted and hit the gas. 3 minutes of silence. I thought she wasn't gonna answer. Then she pulled over to the side of the road. Turned on her hazards. Turned to look at me. What did you just say? I said. You're not drunk tonight. No. So every word I'm saying, I mean it. Do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. You work for me. I know. I'm your boss. I know. The whole company's gonna talk. I know. You make $8,000 a month. I know. This car costs more than you make in a year. I know. Her voice wavered. Just a little. Then what makes you think I don't have any right to say it? I cut her off. I don't make much. No house. No car. I'm just some guy. The only thing I've got. Drunk me dared to call your mom. And sober me doesn't want to write that off as just a drunk mistake. She stared at me. Are you insane? Maybe. I said. But I think drunk me said all the things sober me's been too scared to say. You have a really nice smile. Even blackout drunk. I remembered that. Olivia looked away, staring at something far off past the windshield. Long silence. Then she pulled the marriage pact out of her bag. Unfolded it. Laid it on the steering wheel. Did you sign it? She asked. Yeah. Which version? I wrote in an extra line. She looked down at the last page. At the bottom. In my handwriting. 1 line. Additional clause. This agreement has no expiration date. Party A Liam will not initiate termination under any circumstances. Unless Party B requests it first. Olivia stared at that line for a long time. Are you an idiot? Her voice was a little rough. You've said that like 5 times now. This clause isn't legally binding. I know. But you'll know what I mean. She lifted a hand. Pinched the bridge of her nose. Liam. Yeah. Do you have any idea how hard a decision you're forcing me to make? What decision? I have to decidido I keep being your boss. Or. She didn't finish. But her hand left the steering wheel. And settled on the back of my hand. Resting on the center console. So light I almost thought I imagined it. But I felt the warmth of her fingers. Cool. Trembling. Just a little. Condition 1, raise. Approved. Condition 2, normal hours. Approved. Condition 3, she turned her head to look at me. Her eyes were a little pink. But she smiled. Not that tiny 2mm curve. A real smile. Condition 3, I can't do. Why not? Because when you're around, I can't help it. Everything after that felt a little unreal. Olivia signed the agreement. Didn't cross out my extra clause. Just added 1 line of her own. Right next to Party B. If Party A ever blacks out from drinking again, this agreement is null and void. I swore to myself right then never touching whiskey again. Ever. Monday at work. Mason gave me a weird look when he saw me. Dude. You and Ms. Hale, is this real or not? What do you think? I think you're the luckiest son of a gun alive. He clapped me hard on the back. But if you ever black out drunk again, I'm disowning you. First one. Why? Because the stuff you do drunk. Crazier than anything I could even imagine sober. What if next time you get wasted you buy the whole company? Dude. I can't even save up for a down payment. Your girlfriend could buy 10 of these companies before breakfast. Exactly why I can't drink. She'd probably make me do it. Zoe bought me coffee that afternoon. She sat across from me, holding her own cup, staring for a long time. Liam, can I ask you something? Yeah. That night do you really not remember any of it? I thought about it. I remember the third drink. Then what? Then there's one image. Really blurry. What image? Like someone twisting their ankle. I knelt down to check, then nothing. Zoe huffed a laugh. So your body's way more honest than your brain. What's that supposed to mean? Your brain forgot. But your body remembered someone fell. And you had to catch her. That's probably why she doesn't hate you. She finished her coffee, stood up to leave, and dropped one last line over her shoulder. Liam. She changed 3 times again today. Third outfit was the style you said you liked. Figure it out yourself. I sat there in the cafe, holding my cold Americano. The sun was bright outside. The Argo Tech building glowed in the light. The 18th floor windows reflected the sky. You couldn't see who was inside. But I knew she was up there. Probably going through files. Probably spinning her pen. Or maybe smiling to herself. Thinking about some idiot who blacked out at a gala. Who knows? I only knew one thing for sure. The best decision I ever made was that 4th drink at that stupid gala. Wait. I said I'd never drink again. But that 4th drink. I didn't regret it. Even if I remembered none of it. That drink did all the things sober me was too scared to do. Called out the guy who wronged me. Spoke my truth. Ran to catch someone when she fell. And dared to tell the coldest woman I knew. You have a beautiful smile. You should do it more often. So, thank you. 4th drink. Thank you. Blackout night. Thank you. Drunk me with no memory. You were braver than sober me will ever be. Hey there. Could you rate this story in the comments? Use a scale of 1 to 10. Please, I am begging you. It really means a lot to me. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit follow.